teams left. Only 4 teams will advance. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Main Event Status Sports Show. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show, of course, is brought to you by Haps TV. I am Brian H. Waters, and as you know, okay, we already got the comments jumping off. Oh man, what about these? What's this? Was it? Bugsy Bug says Rams versus Bills, Tampa Bay versus KC, Rams versus Tampa Bay for it all. That would be certainly interesting. I think you may have met Rams versus Tampa Bay and KC versus the Bills, but we'll see. So let's get right into it. We got the AFC Championship hanging in the balance. We got the NFC Championship, I should say, those matchups hanging in the balance as in the divisional round. There's a lot going on this week, and I'm excited because you have 8 teams and there's no gimme matchups. No matter which way you look at it, everybody's saying that Cleveland's going to steamroll all over KC. I don't think that's going to happen. And I'll get into that. I mean, I should say Kansas City is going to steamroll over Cleveland. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think you have a potential for all 4 of these games to be great games. So I'm really excited to see that. Let's start off. What's up, Mike Patton, my brother from Nashville, tuning in. If you didn't check him out last night, you still got time. Mike had our good sister Tarika Foster Braisby on the line. They discussed all things AFC South. Mike covering the Tennessee Titans, Tarika being a Indianapolis Colts fan. So make sure y'all check that out if you didn't get a chance to. And you can do it by following him right here on Haps TV. And if you haven't done so yet, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, download the Haps app, and then go ahead and support the journalists. You're going to get some coins. I think you get about 100 coins. Yeah, you get 100 free coins when you sign up. You can use those to support the journalists. And if you want to have a show yourself, you can also do that. Cammy from Naples tuning in. Thank you, Cammy. Appreciate you tuning in. So we're starting off. We'll go with these games in order. So tomorrow, about 3 o'clock, football resumes, and we're starting off with Aaron Rodgers, the number 1 seeded NFC team. The Green Bay Packers will host the Los Angeles Rams. You know, they say defense wins championships, right? And this Rams defense, for some reason, they took a break last year. I don't know what exactly happened. And you may remember that was a game that I should say the team that was fresh off their Super Bowl hangover. But Aaron Donald is still the best defensive player in football. Anybody else got anybody else in mind? But I think it's Aaron Donald. But I don't know about this one. They're going to Green Bay. And I'm picking the Packers to win this. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is on a mission. When you think about everything that's been going on with him, they went and drafted, I believe his name was Jordan Love, and drafting him, I'm like, but Aaron Rodgers isn't ready. Like, I could see if he was like Ben Roethlisberger, right? Or if he was like a Phillip Rivers. But Aaron Rodgers consistently getting him to the NFC Championship game. So I never understood why they would go ahead and draft why they would draft a quarterback. Anybody would love to have Aaron Rodgers on their team. So maybe it motivated him. I did see some podcasts to say that it motivated him. But I'm going with Aaron Rodgers and them boys to get it done. It's going to be tough for anybody, especially Los Angeles, a team that's used to playing outside in the nice weather. So I think Aaron Rodgers and them will get it done. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Feel free. And then if you're out there on Twitter, go ahead, hit the retweet button at Haps News or at Brian H. Waters. Hit the retweet button, tune in. And, but if you don't, download the Haps app and you can jump in the conversation. So that's where I'm going with that. The next game is my team, as you can see, the Baltimore Ravens. Let's see. I think I got some footage. Yeah, I got some footage I'm gonna share with y'all. But the Ravens, they will take on the Buffalo Bills, and that's footage playing from last year's matchup. Now, granted, these Bills are a different team. They are hot, and it's so funny. This is the collision course that a lot of people kind of wanted to see. You have the Ravens who are coming in red hot, and then you have the Bills are coming in red hot. Both of them had some key wins down the stretch, right? The Ravens, it was beating the Cleveland Browns on that Monday night football game. For the Bills, it was beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if you remember, this is a game also in Buffalo. They held Lamar Jackson to about 40 yards. So, but he did it with his arm. And this was also that time where he had to, there was the controversy about him wearing a glove. Somebody said that the ball was matching his skin color, so Lamar went out there and wore long sleeves. Unfortunately, but here's the thing about Lamar Jackson: you can get him, and yeah, I'm speaking from a fan. You can get him to a point, right, where all right, you think you got him. You think you did your thing. You held him to so many. You knocked down his yardage, and then he could change the game just like that. Last week in Tennessee, broke the game wide open in the third quarter, and that allowed the Ravens to go ahead and take the lead and win the game. So, of course, I'm going with the Ravens. I think this will be a close game that the Ravens will pull away from eventually. So, I'm going with 31-21. What's up, Brian? Brian ain't lying, tuning in on Facebook. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. But, and let's see. BC Bernard says Bills Mafia is unstoppable. I mean, you could say Bills Mafia is unstoppable. I know Josh Allen has been playing out his world, MVP candidate. But the bottom line is they didn't look that great last week against the Colts. And there was some things that I felt that if the Colts just did a couple more things, they would have won this game. They didn't look that great. Now, the Ravens, on the other hand, they went out there to do what they had to do. Stop Derrick Henry. I also think Tennessee kind of went away with what was kind of working. Marlon, it looked like it was going to be a long day for Marlon Humphrey, but he found a way to get it done. And the Ravens offense kind of got going. And the Bills defense, their run defense. So that allowed the Ravens to, if they can do what they did against Cincinnati, and that is control the possession and control the clock, they'll be marching to Kansas City or back to Baltimore to be a host. So I'm going with the Ravens in this one. So now we move on. The game, 3:00 Sunday, that is that Baltimore has to score to win. Brian says that. And scoring hasn't been a problem, Brian. That's the thing. If you want to jump in, download the Haps app and I can invite you in. But scoring does not scoring isn't a problem. If you've been watching the Ravens the past few weeks, they've been putting up points. Yeah, it wasn't that many points against Tennessee, but you look at what they did against the I know people say it was the Bengals, it was the Jaguars, it was the Giants, it was the Cowboys, but hey, the Browns are here, and they was able to do that. So I don't think them scoring is an issue. I think they'll put up a lot of points. I don't know how many points they're gonna put up. I ain't gonna say a lot, but I think it'll be like a 30-20 game. I think the Ravens will pull away with this one. And then moving on to the NFC, AFC, the other game in the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on. Let's see if I can present that screen because I got something that I thought was interesting. And that was, let's see. Nah, I must have pulled it down. Yeah, I had it up. Oh wait, here it is. I can pull it up for you. And that was Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins was told that he was tweeting about the game, right? And let me put this on your screens. So Sammy Watkins is tweeting about the game, and he's tweeting about the fact that the Browns and the Steelers game looked like a video game. Said, this is a video game with what the hell's going on. This is weird. I'm speechless, pretty sure the whole world is shocked because I've never seen nothing like this in my life, not in the NFL. Somebody said, looks like we got some comp next week. Must have been a fan. And he said, I wouldn't go that far. And then, some people always talking, and somebody said, you're not even playing this week. And he just put up, some emojis that I can't see because he probably did it on his phone. But it's very interesting. The last thing you want to do is give anybody bulletin board material. We saw that happen last week, I should say. Cleveland had the bulletin board material when Juju Smith-Schuster, I actually said his name, number 19 was out there dancing and said they stole the Browns. And that's what they showed. And especially a guy like Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, somebody, he ain't the most humbling when it comes to on the field. He does talk a lot of trash. So he's going to take any and everything. Shout out to my cousin Addis watching. Baker Mayfield's going to take any and everything. Now, as bad as I would love to see Cleveland win this game, because that would mean that my pick of the Ravens winning, they would be playing in Baltimore. It's hard to say. I just can't pick against Kansas City this week. So I think this will be one of those games, though, where Cleveland goes out there and they're going to look good losing. I just don't think they're going to get blown out the way everybody think they are. But I am interested to see how, if their run game gets going. If their run game gets going and they can keep Mahomes off the field, look out. Could it be an upset? Only time will tell. And then we move on to the main event. The main event of the evening, folks. And that is, I should say, the main event of the playoffs, this round. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees for an opportunity to go to the NFC Championship game. Now, these two teams have already played twice. The first time you look at it like, okay, this is the first time we saw the Bucks, especially with no preseason. Maybe, you give the Bucks a pass. The Saints win that game. Then they met again in week 9. And what happened? The Saints destroyed them. So now, how hard is it for a team to beat somebody 3 times? That's certainly what I've been thinking about. If the Ravens should play the Browns, how hard is it for a team to beat another team 3 times? The game will be in New Orleans, but you have to look at it like this. The Tampa Bay, while their defense didn't look great last week, and I do think if they had, but then you also have to factor in that they was playing against a quarterback that they didn't really have film on, no matter which way you look at it. But I do think you look at from this standpoint, Tampa Bay is starting, they're better now together than they was in week 9. So I can't really call this a blowout. And you also look at it from this point of view that the the Saints, they've been here before. So what happens? But I'm going to go with the upset. I just can't see Tom Brady losing to the same team 3 times with Antonio Brown, with Mike Evans, an opportunity to host the Super Bowl is on the line. And so I'm going with I am going with the Tampa Bay Bucks to win. Somebody just really mad. Yeah, that comment needs to get hidden. Somebody said F Lamar. I was watching an interview. It was Lamar Jackson. Said Malcolm Butler gave him the bird, and he just kind of looked at him and laughed. But yeah, so I like the Buccaneers to pull off the upset going into New Orleans and winning this game. I just think it's real tough to beat a team 3 times. When you're winning, you kind of overlook some of the things. You're happy. Okay, we're winning. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I think what happened with the Ravens last year. That's why, like John Harbaugh says, that this game means more. I mean, this team he feels is better equipped because going into this season, this season they faced a lot of adversity coming into the playoffs. It looked like one time they had to fight for their spot. Now I know this is the NFL show, but the Ravens is my team, and I'm talking, most of the time it's a Ravens show. And therefore, they're better equipped to do this, But then you also look at like the Bucks. Like I said, they had to kind of crawl their way in, going through the road where ironically, if they go through the road, then they get home at the Super Bowl. So I do think they have an opportunity, and I think the Bucks are going to win. I just think and Cling Clang says that the Saints are going to destroy the Bucks. I just can't. To me, these games, all of them, I think are going to kind of be close. I don't see no blowouts happening at all. Even with Kansas City and Cleveland, I don't think Kansas City blows them out. I actually think that's going to be probably like a 41-31 type game. I think that Saints and the Bucks. I think honestly, this might be a 35-31. Buccaneers win. Get ready to go to Lambeau Field. And we'll see Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers for the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. I like the Saints more, but this week I like the Saints more, but this week is Bucks all day, dog. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so too. This will be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting as we get ready. But that'll do it for this episode, folks. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate the comments. Always fun to talk football. We'll see. I'll probably be back Saturday night. You got 27-17 Bucks. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably be back Saturday night after the Ravens and Bills game. Hopefully the Ravens win, because if they lose, I ain't gonna say I'm gonna be in a happy mood. But it says, fun fact, Haps has been pretty good, and I've had the opportunity to call and report, report on the Lakers winning the championship and my National League team, the Dodgers, winning the championship. So let's get the trifecta going. Ravens all the way. So if you missed it at the top, I said, here are my predictions. I got the Ravens over the Bills. I got the Packers over the Rams. I got the Bucks over the Saints. And I got the Chiefs over the Browns. So if I get my wish, if I predicted, if I'm right, we will have a Ravens Chiefs matchup versus on the other side we'll have a Bucks Packers matchup. Now, how interesting would it be if at this point? Well, actually, no matter which way you do it, unless Jared Goff goes to the Super Bowl, you're going to get an old school, new school matchup, because you got Baker Mayfield, you got Josh Allen, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Lamar Jackson. Then on the other side, you got Jared Goff, who's the lone young wolf over there, but you got Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady, the three best, oldest quarterbacks. But in the end, I think these playoffs, I think we have the right teams in there. I think that I don't feel, as a football fan, I wouldn't feel robbed when you really look at the landscape of things. I do think you have the 8 best teams in there. And yeah, I even say that with Cleveland, because you look at the way they played down the stretch. They deserve to be there, not Pittsburgh. It's just that simple. So that'll do it, folks. Until the next time, I'm Brian H. Waters. So long, everybody.